Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CADS. A slightly more upbeat CADS, a slightly happier CADS. This is what happens when you actually go out and try to win a game. Amazingly, it can be done. We were joking at the end of last week. We'll be back to talk about 6 points, 4 points, 2 points, 1 point. Hey, we got 4 of them. We actually had a draw, which we'll talk about later, and a very well-deserved win in our last 2 games. So I am joined, as always, by some of the regulars. We've got Austen. Say hello, Austen.
Hello, Austen.
And we've got Ashley as well. Say hello, Ashley.
Hello, Austen and Ashley and Dave and Stu.
Yeah, and of course, David. How you doing, David?
Yeah, great. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
So, little bit of an uptick. Things are looking better. Everybody feeling happier?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, as I was just saying off air, for once, enough with the XGs and the XYZs and whatever. Just do a Harry Redknapp and let them run around a bit.
Nope.
And look what happened. We actually had an enjoyable game. So a little bit more of that, please. Hey, Marcel.
Because we're just a late joiner for the show this evening, Marcel. How you doing, Marcel?
Fine, excellent. Yes, I've dug up that old photo of the original Spurs squad, but I found one that's got the original head coach in the front of the row. Oh, sorry, I'm in the way.
Nice.
Yeah. Marcel, is that 1881? When was it?
1882.
1882. 1885, that one.
Wow.
There's the head coach.
Who is it?
That Donald Trump in the middle?
I think it's one of our members.
Fantastic.
Well, up at the back, just above your head and to the left, that looks like Austen.
No, there's Austen.
Oh, you think that's Austen?
Yeah.
Austen would have already been 50 when that photograph was taken. Can't be right.
It was an AI generated picture of Austen.
Okay, fair enough.
I do expect more from you.
Hey, you went to great
that's
expense and
Austin.
trouble to create an image for you.
Anyway, so what are we on about tonight then?
Well, we're talking about feeling better. We're talking about feeling happier and a little bit positive. How are you feeling?
Oh, happier and positive.
Excellent. Well, there you go. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. And we'll continue. Just a
I
little
tell you
bit
what,
longer.
I tell you what, I'm feeling happy and positive, but I'm feeling very unhappy and not at all positive about referees and penalties and VAR.
Yeah.
I tell you that much for nothing.
Should we dive straight into that? Because I think that is potentially the point that should get some focus, but we're more likely to miss out on if we don't talk about it straight away. What an absolute travesty of a pathetic penalty call that was in the Newcastle game. I'm sorry, we've seen so many times where players are jostling on the pitch, jostling around the box for corners and things like that and free kicks, and nothing ever gets given. In the Newcastle game this weekend, Anthony Gordon was pushing back into the goalkeeper, right? Not even bothering to get anywhere near the ball or create any space or anything like that to attack the ball. All he was interested in doing was going away from the ball and pushing the goalkeeper backwards into his own goal. And they score a wonderful, was it a Classico, direct from the corner? Looked great, but it should have been ruled out because the goalkeeper was being obstructed. And
It's
yet,
just not,
nothing.
It's insane. I mean, it's insane on 2 levels. Number one is that VAR is supposed to intervene in the case of a clear and obvious error by the referee.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to begin with, why is VAR getting involved? That's like the first thing.
Yeah.
There's clearly not a clear and obvious error. And the second thing is just the consistency. I mean, you can make the case that it is a penalty, but if that is the case, then there has to be about 6 penalties a match, and players have to know what standard they have to play to. You can't just, whatever minute is in a match, random match, just rip up the way people have been playing, and then and why does it always happen to Spurs? I don't want to sound like a tinfoil cap geezer, but it was Dyer against Newcastle, that ridiculous handball about 4 years ago, and they changed the rules after that. It's
Sissoko
in the Champions League final, and now this. I mean, come on. And what's weird is that happened midweek. I would have expected a whole bunch of penalties this weekend because clearly they've decided to, tighten up on the rules or whatever. But no, apparently not. Apparently not. It just happens when an oil state club that invites referees for £50,000 match fees to referee bogus matches in their states. It just happens there. I'm not saying that there's corruption, but you have to wonder.
It could be stopped.
There's certainly an inconsistency.
If they agreed to book everyone that has physical contact with either hands, arms, or grabbing when they're not challenging for a ball, they book them instantly. It would stop overnight.
Yeah, and just do it. But and actually going to do it and do it consistently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Marcel.
consistency is the word, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the moment, it's as consistent as our performance. Yeah.
The thing that really bugs me is I stopped playing 24 years ago, right? And 24 years ago, we were pushing each other and jostling in the box at corners, right? At lower league, like Sunday league level. Okay. And referees didn't give anything about that then. And they were looking straight at us and they knew exactly what was going on. It was part of the game. It's a little bit of jostling. It's a little bit fun. We didn't touch the goalkeeper because the goalkeeper is effectively a protected species. That seems to have gone out the window nowadays. It seems like you can jostle the goalkeeper as much as you like, as long as you're not touching him. As long as you're not touching him when the actual corner is taken. Because the latest thing seems to be push into the goalkeeper, knock him out of position right before the ball is hit. But they're going. The referee's reasoning was he wasn't looking at the ball. Well, I'm sorry. I've played as a defender at corner. You want to monitor the player a lot of the time. You want to make sure that he's not getting a free run. You give a quick occasional look, but there's a very good reason why Bentancur couldn't give a quick occasional look. Fucking Dan Burn had him in a headlock. And where was he looking? He couldn't look at the ball. He was looking at the ground because Dan Burn was all over him and Dan Burn forced him to the ground. And then the ref goes, oh, he pulled him down. No, I'm sorry. That's crap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the final really bogus thing about it is, and I think I saw somebody else talking about this earlier. So it's, so VAR sends him to the monitor. Why can't the referee look at it and go, actually I stand by my decision. I was right there.
Yeah.
Why is it every time they go to the monitor, bar perhaps one time, every time they go, oh yeah, right, yeah, you're right. Didn't see that. I mean, is that really statistically possible that every single time they look at it, they decide, no, it's not. I mean, the referee should have had the guts, there you go, to say, oh, I stand by my decision. It was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, and my decision stands. It's just it's three things that are just unconscionable. In a professional game. That's a good word, actually. I'm gonna bring that out later as well.
Unconscionable.
Yeah.
There you go. I'll tell you what, David. When you've actually written that into a song, if you can write a song with the word unconscionable
I'll do
it.
Yeah.
Well, he'd write it into a song if he could spell it.
Yeah.
2 ends. Three ends.
Really good point there, Dave, because you're right.
Ends, actually.
How many, the last point, how many times do they actually change them out? The ref stayed with his initial on-field decision. You're right. They don't. They always bow to Stockley Park or something like that,
Almost. I've seen it happen once where the referee's gone to look and he's come back and he said, yeah, there's nothing there to look at. Yeah. But it's rare.
I've got a question. And there obviously is a lot more grappling than there used to be, but I never got to see Spurs when I was younger because I wasn't living in the country. There wasn't a lot of television about the games, maybe the BBC highlights, but there is definitely the game has changed. So there is a lot more grappling and holding and pulling and jersey grabbing on every play.
But I don't think there is. I don't think there's more.
I was going to ask people who Austen or Marcel might have seen back in the 70s even. How does it compare today?
Well, there was a lot more blatant kicking.
Yes.
I mean, if you saw Chelsea versus Leeds in the 1970 Cup kick final, it said
the kick final.
That was just the most violent of games. But the snidey, sneaky game wasn't anywhere near the same.
So there is.
That came over with all the foreigners, didn't that?
That could be.
I say you can't say that, Mr. Farage.
But just a disclaimer, that was irony, just for anybody that doesn't.
I realise that.
Yeah, I know you do, but like my mum might be watching and not realise.
Given that
let's put this conversation on ice, shall we? Put it on ice.
Let's make it very, very clear. There are 3 of us here who actually live in Europe, so and David's one of them. So, yeah.
Can I bring us on to another point? Has Vicario ever saved a penalty?
It's very hard to save it if you go the wrong way every time, isn't it?
That's true. Well, Lloris was like that too. He was pretty bad on penalties as well.
I can remember Lloris saving penalties.
Lloris did all right. I mean, obviously no one is at the level of Ian Walker, because Ian Walker was like the best when it came to saving penalties. He was the only player that saved a penalty against Matt Letizia, wasn't he? So
hey, Tony Parks as well.
Tony Parks did okay, yeah.
Yeah, he did. Want to say UEFA Cup? Tony Parks.
I'm very much of the opinion when it comes to penalties, you know, a goalkeeper doesn't make a save, it's the player misses his penalty.
Vicario has saved 5 penalties.
Wow.
At Tottenham?
No, none.
No. None at Tottenham. 5 in his career, going back to when he started at under 14 level.
yeah, basically 1 a year since he started, more or less.
So he's overdue.
Up until he arrived with us, yeah.
Yeah, he's overdue. He's overdue a good penalty save.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to get a Vicario for that. You know, it's just.
No.
But yeah, it'd be nice if he pulled one out every now and then. But
you have a save.
Vicario's had it rough enough recently, so let's give him a pass on this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So okay, what else?
I mean,
Newcastle game.
Let's stay with the Newcastle game. Obviously, I think we saw the best of central defence. Our central defence in that game, certainly in our goal scoring capacity, because we saw a fantastic diving header. There is no way around that was not a brilliant diving header.
Beautiful.
Any striker would be rightfully proud of that one.
That was movement before that was brilliant.
Yeah, it was excellent. And also his movement to get up after being hauled down at the corner against Newcastle to jump back, get in position, and then shin it into the net. And I do say shin because it was probably one of the worst executed overhead kicks I've seen in a very, very long time.
Well, it takes a lot of skill to get a shin on target.
Yeah. You don't understand, Stuart. It's much easier if you use a foot.
Yeah.
I'll say who's showing off, is what you're saying.
The fact that he shinned it is probably the reason it went in.
That's true, yeah.
Because it put everybody on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
In fairness, he's from Argentina, so he's used to shanks. Lamb shanks.
Oh, dearie me. Oh, no. So, I mean, when I saw him do it, I was like, wow, that's a really good attempt, but there's no way that's going in because there was no speed on the ball. And then it bounced once. I mean, Ash apparently was counting. It bounced once and just snuck its way into the goal. I mean, when I did the match report on Tottenham Shelf News, I said this was a goal that relied as much on surprise as it did technique, because I think every single defender was just like, how the fuck did that get in? Because it was... But yeah.
What did you all think about the match overall, though, apart from the...
Terrible. We were not good. It was a continuation of what we've seen before.
I actually thought we played quite well in the second half, and I thought in the last 10 minutes of the first half we started to play better. I was surprised when they scored and scored again.
Yeah, I agree with you, Austen. I thought that without it being good, it was less bad. I thought there was some signs of attacking intent. I know, we all saw the stat, yet another half of football without a single shot on target. But, that's ignoring Bergval's rather wonderful attempted back heel into the net, and a couple of other sort of near misses or places where we nearly got into a scoring position. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm, really clutching at straws, but I did feel that against Newcastle there were little green shoots of recovery without it actually being particularly good. And
Bergwald started to make some good possessive runs in the second half.
And I think it puts to bed any question as to whether the players are are with Frank or not, or at least they're with the supporters at the very least. Like they didn't want to let that one go, especially not Romero.
Go on, Ash.
And they're with each other, of course. I think there is a spirit. I don't know if it goes along to Frank because of his stilted sort of formations. I did want to just ask about, and then reference back again. Romero, when he goes up there, he said he's got that shithousery Coco Lamella thing about him, which is fantastic. But he unsettles defenders, and I would love to see him when we need a goal that we do. I mean, what was he on that second goal? There was a corner. What was he doing up there anyway?
Everybody was going like, "What the hell is he doing there?"
Right. So it was obviously a conscious sort of thing, like I'm going to be aggressive and get into it, and it was fabulous. And I'm just wondering if that's something to consider. Austen, you might remember this. I never saw the highlights, but I read about it. We had moved. Apparently, we had a Welsh defender named England who would sometimes play as a striker and would score goals. Am I correct?
Mike England.
I only saw much of the day in those days. I didn't go to the lane because I lived up north, so I can't comment. But I mean, I do remember reading about him. He'd go up and he'd be a threat at in attacking situations.
Yeah, I actually think they actually played him at centre forward at times when they were,
I don't remember that.
Injury list. They looked it up. Anyway, I just feel that Romero, now that we have Danso, it would be a kind of a cool thing to, last 15, 20 minutes, just put him up there. He seems to unsettle people. I saw the tackle he had yesterday. He only got a yellow for it, but he just unsettles guys with his aggressiveness. And I'd like to see
we had another defender that played as a striker much more recently than that.
Oh,
the ginger Pele.
Ginger Pele, yeah.
Gary Doherty. I was trying to remember his first name. So yeah. So it's not.
He had the saver in the League Cup game against Torquay, I think.
Oh yeah, you've got better memory than me. That's because it's Torquay, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because Torquay. I used to watch Torquay a little bit. Well, I was absolutely not at all worried that Spurs beat them. So
Graham Roberts would do the same when you needed a goal. He'd be right up front.
That's right. So
thing is, back in Mike England's day, they only had one sub, so they had to be a little bit flexible in being able to go and do different things as required.
He only won. I didn't know that.
Yeah, just one sub.
Yeah.
That's why squads were tiny back then. Like they'd often go into a season with like 15, 16 players.
Yeah, and if you look at the appearances for that double winning side, so many of them played 40 plus games. It was stupid thing. They didn't have any options, and it's like, wow, you imagine them doing that today. Starting.
No, they were all smoking back then.
And drinking.
They had ashtrays on the corner flags.
No Jimmy Greaves would have a fag at half time, wouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dear me, yeah. Those I won't say those were days because I wasn't even born in those times, so difficult for me to pass comment on it. But going back to Newcastle, I didn't think we were great. I'll be honest. I think this is one of those games where, despite the fact that we played poorly, we kind of forget that the other side are trying to win the game as well, and it's not all about Tottenham. Newcastle are a good side. They're lower than where they should be in the league. Voltemada's a very good player.
Yeah,
I really like him, and I'd be delighted if we could somehow get him to Spurs, but that's not going to happen. I mean, they just spent 60 million on him, something like that.
Oh, we bottled it up though. Our central defenders, didn't really give him much of a sniff, so they did a good job.
We kept him quiet, yeah.
Their midfield is
Ash, I'm gonna have to pull you up on something, Ash. If you're gonna say that a player needs to go forward from the back, you need to move him forward in stages. Like you've jumped from going centre back to defensive midfield last season, that's fine. But you need to go attacking midfield forward. You can't go defensive midfield straight to forward, Ash. It's just not allowed. Just can't happen.
All right, so
I was only talking.
Absolutely.
I was only talking for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, but you're right,
Stu.
Stu. We were away from home, a place that's difficult to travel to. We weren't great, but I thought we gave them I thought we were good value for the draw. I think we would have been reasonable value for the win, without really playing well. But it was an away match against a place. I think what was it, six matches that they'd won or something like that.
One at home, yeah.
One at home, so. I think I was watching it and I thought actually I was pretty pleased with the way we played. Not delighted, same as you, Stu, but I wasn't down on it. Others were. Others thought it was absolutely dreadful, but I thought it showed signs of a turnaround.
My only thing about your statement is saying we should have played more. We should have, scored more. Is we only had 2 shots on target in the entire match.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So we couldn't have because we didn't even try to get out. So
yeah, but they shouldn't have had a penalty. So
yeah,
they 2 shots on target should have been enough to win it.
Yeah. Berrival's little flicks were very nice. They were definitely a highlight for me of that game. And I think just the continuing growth of young Lucas is something that I really like to see and I want to see more of.
He's
such a good player.
In the last few improvement. But our attacking problems are still there, weren't they? Against Newcastle.
Yeah.
It took a central defender to come out and just grab it by both hands and sort it out for us, which is no way to continue. So compared to the previous game, yes, it was an improvement. Is it anywhere near where we need to be? No, nowhere near.
Not really.
But there was a start in that game, and it happened yesterday. He's not going with that double pivot with Palhinha and Bentancur, and that's part of let them cook, I believe. So he's been using either Gray, like in today, or Berrival in that alongside Palhinha or Bentancur, and then allowing a little bit more attacking influence just above them. It was Xavi today. I think it was Sarr on the Newcastle game. So you could see, I don't know if it was pressure from senior management, pressure from the fans, pressure from the team squad going, hey, we have to unshackle this. You got to allow us to play. But in the last few games, when he's not running with that double pivot, and he's having one of those 19-year-olds playing there, I think it's the start of something a little bit more creative, and hopefully it will be a little bit more progressive with that sort of formation change there.
I think we need to build the team around Bergvall and Gray and Sarr, because I think those two working together would be an absolutely brilliant pair. They're both technically superb. Gray is very good at breaking play up, intercepting and tackling. His positional sense is brilliant. And Bergvall moves the ball forward. And then if we play Xavi in a central role, like he played on yesterday, then I think we'd have the basis of a very, very good midfield.
I'm still waiting for when we play Gray at the base, Berrival in front of him, playing as the 8, and then 10, Xavi as well. Xavi finally coming into his own in the Premier League. Lovely to see. You know, I've been talking this boy up since before we signed him, and everybody knows I was extremely happy when he joined us, and I think there's more to come. I think we're starting to see glimpses of what he can do, but he was very, very good yesterday. There were still a few loose passes, but generally very, very good, and I thought his closing down for that second goal, just to then run it and then coolly finish, was just an example of much increased confidence.
He's faster than I thought.
Yeah, that too.
It was an excellent. I mean, I've been extremely hostile towards Xavi since he's been here. I think he's really, really been appalling. I thought on Saturday, I thought he was really excellent. Really, not just for the goal and the assist, but in a certain number of other movements as well. I mean, if he can start putting together some performances like that, it's exactly what we need. I'm going to keep my question mark open because that's one match. And
I think we've got to give him some latitude, David.
So, sorry?
I think we've got to give him some latitude. He's in a new country. He's in a new league. He's been playing in a team that's been playing shit. One player can't come in and make a difference. And I think he's acclimatized to the league. I mean, we're not at Christmas yet. and he hasn't played all the time. So I think we're going to start seeing the best of him now.
Yeah, I think where I don't give the latitude is to the board for signing someone when we needed somebody that was ready on day one, not on day, what was it, 14. You know,
I think that's fair.
And that's not Xavi's fault. And I'm still waiting to see. It's not being a bad loser or whatever, or refusing to admit I'm wrong. I mean, I will be the first to eat my words with relish if Xavi turns out to be able to put performances like that in against, more teams, better teams, and in better situations. But that was a really great first sign of showing maybe you can do stuff. I'm just keeping my question mark open though.
And for the first time, he seems to be toughening up a bit.
Yeah.
Up till now, he's been very lightweight.
Yeah.
The point that really did it for me was he in the second half he was running up the left-hand side, and I forget, it might have been Coyote who was with him, for the Brentford defender, and he had one nibble at him, and previously he would have gone down. Like, before this game, he would have gone down at the first chance of, the first sign of any contact, he would have gone down. And like I've been saying for a long time, he needs to learn that in the Premier League, if you can stay on your feet, you need to try and stay on your feet. And he did. He hasn't been. But on this one, unless you play Liverpool, but on this one, he actually stayed on his feet, continued, and then he was absolutely brought down by the Brentford player, and then he got the free kick. And I think that might have been like a light bulb moment for him in terms of, right, this is the way we play football in the Premier League. And I kind of think it's not xenophobic. I think it's just it's one of those narratives that kind of writes itself, about the Premier League being harder and faster and tougher than any other league in the world. It may be partially true, but the way people talk about it, they talk about it as if it's an absolute, He's come from the Bundesliga. The Bundesliga is a tough league, but
Xavi actually
if he's starting to take that up,
he actually said that after the game, but sort of somewhat apologized by saying, not as if the other leagues are not competitive, but this is something else. But then he also he suggested that he need a run of games to get acclimatized, which is also true, as Dave was just saying. Let's just see if he gets a run and he can acclimatize.
There was something else he was doing that I was very pleased about, which was because one of my criticisms, apart from the weakness and the slowness, was the positioning. I think it was Austen said we were playing shit football with a double pivot that wasn't creative at all. But I felt that Xavi had a large part of responsibility for that, because he wasn't coming back. He wasn't coming back to get involved, and so there was this mismatch between, the double pivot, and they didn't have anybody in that gap between, the front three and the double pivot where Xavi should have been. I felt like he was hiding a lot of the time and not making himself available, and therefore not influencing the game. Against Brentford on Saturday, you saw him coming back very frequently to get involved. In fact, his goal was going back. It was quite defensive. It was a great bit of closing down, but he was actually closing down after he gave the ball away himself. But
he was making up for his own error.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. It was a really good play, and the fact was that it came from quite deep. And I don't think we have the luxury of him playing sort of so invisibly as he was before. And I think him coming back and getting involved lets attacks start, lets them sort of percolate and start developing. Whereas before we were just like left with long balls and hoping that a long ball from Palhinha, who's not a particularly good passer, was going to find its way sort of 40 yards up the pitch to a forward, and that just wasn't working at all. So that was really good.
I think you've got to draw a comparison with Modric, who took some time to actually settle into the team, and when he settled into the team, he was brilliant.
Yeah, I'll wait a little bit longer before I get to Modric. If he can get up to Harry Winks, that would be great.
Modric was brilliant, and Modric, there was something special about him. I remember going to watch Modric when he was playing for, his previous club against Rennes, and he was playing effectively an ice rink. It was so cold that night, and the ground was so hard and frozen, but he still looked fantastic on the ball. And I was like, oh God, if we could get this guy. I mean, he was such
but
a
he
good
did
player.
at first with us. He was getting brushed off the ball all the time and trying to claim fouls that he was never going to get. And in that respect,
He was
there is a
also
lot of
played left wing.
similarities. Yeah.
He was played left wing, which wasn't his position.
So a lot
and,
of similarities with Xavi.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the other players. He's already been mentioned, but Archie Gray, I thought, was really good. A steady performance at the back, picking the ball up, playing it round, pushing forwards at times. And showing some good skills as well. I thought he did very well.
Mm. Yeah, he's more than steady. He's brilliant.
Yeah, I know you love him, Austen. He's your boy, isn't he?
He was excellent.
I watched his great uncle and his grandfather, and he's got the same sort of skill that they had. He's going to be fabulous. He's 19, for goodness sake.
Yeah, and I saw he was the deepest player for a lot of the game.
Mm-hmm.
The parts I was actually called away. I had to watch the game 2 times because I was called away about halfway through the first half. Missed the goals, all of the fun, all of the action, excitement. Missed all of that. Came back to a second half, which was good, but not quite at the same level.
No, it wasn't at the same level. So, I think we were playing for the clean sheet a lot.
Yeah. But I thought Archie Gray was excellent.
We scored the goals we should have done.
Mm.
Yeah,
and we had 2 or 3 golden opportunities to put that game out of reach.
Yeah, Muani's header. Yeah, that was
good.
I mean, it's just one of those ones where you catch it too well and it just goes straight at the goalkeeper. I think
Richarlison, despite having a goal, looked a little bit reticent to take a shot quickly. Like he could have, a couple of times he could have whacked at the ball a bit quicker.
Well, he did have one, a side scissor kick that he really lined up, but unfortunately it hit a defender.
Yeah,
but it was it would have been a brilliant goal if it had missed that defender. So he's our top scorer now.
Taking shots.
And he's 4th in the Premier League. Can you believe it? He's got 6 Premier League goals, 8 for us, and he's 4th overall because Haaland is way up there, and he's got more than Salah does.
And Salah may find it difficult scoring from the bench, of course. Let's move on to Djed Spence, who I thought had a phenomenal game.
Yeah,
I thought he was excellent.
Yeah,
and he hasn't been excellent for a lot of games, so he was excellent.
I thought he was excellent against PSG.
Yeah, he was good. He was good in that game. I mean, he was so good that Kvaratskhelia, that's how you say it, David, Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, the Georgian geezer.
The Georgian geezer. Kvaratskhelia is such a good player, but he looks like a Sunday League player. He looks like a Sunday League player, but plays like a slightly worse Ronaldo, and there's no shame in that. The fact that Kvaratskhelia, I'm saying it again just to prove I can, had to switch wings to try and get some joy in that game. Just showed how good Djed Spence was against PSG. But I thought he was equally as good, if not better, in the Brentford game because he was pushing forward, making chances, getting involved in opportunities at the end, and nearly scored.
Nearly had a goal, didn't he? Yeah. Would have been glorious.
I was very, very happy with him.
Do we have a problem with Udogie and being a sick note? Because it looks like Jed's going to be playing quite a few games up there. By the way, he also seemed to combine with Muani because those 2 guys, Richarlison and Muani, seem to be shifting. He seemed to combine well with Muani. I'm sure we'll get to him in a second. Muani's contribution.
Yeah, let's quickly talk about Bentancur. I thought Bentancur had his best game in a very long time. Not significantly outstanding in any way, but he was quietly effective in pretty much everything he did. There were very few points where you look and go, oh, we should be showing more for the ball there or anything like that. He had a game where he was actually pretty good for some of his, in comparison to some of his recent performances.
About the first 10 minutes, I thought he was going to have one of his disaster games.
Exactly what I was about to say.
First 10 minutes, he gave the ball away 3 or 4 times and then lost in possession, got tackled, and I'm thinking, well, he's going to have another one. Then suddenly he woke up. But I'll tell you what, at the end, when he came off, I thought Palhinha upped it a level from what Bentancur was doing. He was quite impressive, Palhinha.
Palhinha is a very, very good player, but I think he's just so limited in what he can do.
So what is it about Bentancur? Why can he? There was this one where he intercepted the ball and took it up the pitch, and he was pretty fast. And I'm going, wow, that guy. Why can't he do more of that? I don't know what it is.
I'm going to say something really negative that's going to put a bummer on this entire podcast.
Oh, here we go.
Am I going to say it?
No, you have to now.
I've been thinking it, but I don't really want to say. Okay, Bentancur looking that good makes me think, yeah, we put 2 goals past a team that was basically pretty shit on Saturday. And that's why I'm kind of like not getting carried away in my jubilation that we've turned the corner. I thought Brentford were pretty awful. And I think Bentancur looking good is in some respects a little bit of an indicator that we had it pretty easy out there. There you go. Yeah. I've said it. Sorry.
And I thought we made them look awful. Just as bad, but we've looked awful against them.
Yeah.
What the difference to me, forget who we were playing, it was an attitude that the players were showing, which was completely different. We haven't seen for a long time.
Yes, exactly. Very much.
Pressing was fantastic. They couldn't live with the pressing.
Yeah, I think Brentford are they're a reasonable side. I very much doubt they're going to go down. They're certainly better than Wolves, who had a better result against us.
No, yeah, but I do think they played a bit of a stinker against us.
They didn't have a great game. I mean, Thiago was not great. I mean, he scored a decent number of goals for Brentford this season, but he was quiet against us. But I think it's because we upped our game. We actually looked better and we were more proactive. And my big thing is it was probably the most proactive we've been since Everton.
I saw something during that match that made me so happy. I didn't think we were allowed to do that at White Hart Lane. Pass the ball in front of the player, instead of into his feet or behind him. I saw a number of times balls that people could run onto. It was incredible. I wasn't sure it was still allowed. I thought there was going to be another penalty or something, but yeah.
I think they'll get fined for doing it, but
yeah, probably.
David, David, you're getting very cynical in your old age.
Yeah.
I've always been really cynical.
Yeah, I'm still, I titled this podcast A Brief Respite because I'm not sure this is set for the future. I'm not sure this is the way we're going to be playing long term from now on. I'd love to see it. I really would. I think the last 2 games have potentially given Thomas Frank a stay of execution, because I genuinely think if we'd lost this game, we'd have been out the door. Yeah. It would have been so difficult to recover from, losing against his old side, a side who we really should be up against and, doing well against and, beating more often than not. I mean, we beat them twice last season and twice the season before that. So, for me, I'm looking forward to seeing how the next games go. Not the next one, because we absolutely should beat Slavia Prague at home on Tuesday night, but the Nottingham Forest game. Nottingham Forest, at the county ground, the Forest ground, playing away against the Forest side, who are having a little bit of an upswing at the moment. They're looking better. They seem a little bit more organised under Sean Dyche. And then, of course, we've got Liverpool after that, which is going to be the big test. If we can go out and we can actually put in a good performance against Liverpool, that will lay a lot of fears to rest, I think. Yeah, we don't even need to win. We just need to put a good performance in.
Yeah, I must admit, when I saw the title of the podcast, I thought, well, that's my job being miserable. I was a little bit annoyed. But I mean, I've decided that I'm going to be optimistic, and hopefully this is the start of something beautiful.
Can we hold you to that?
You can hold me to it, but I'm not the one that's playing, luckily.
Yeah.
No, trying
to talk about Nottingham Forest on an upswing. They got hammered by Everton, didn't they?
There you go.
They did. Everton are doing well this year, though. So kind of difficult to see how good they are, really. I think Nottingham Forest were kind of screwed over by basically their owner at the start of the season, disrupting everything, like almost giving their manager the vote of no confidence before the start of the season, sacking him, bringing him someone who, however much I think he's great, Ange Postecoglou was not at all sorted, to playing the kind of football that he wanted to play with that squad. They needed different kinds of players to do that. And now they brought in someone who is closer to Nuno in style of the way he wants to play football. They're actually looking up again. So we'll see. I mean, the end of the season will come, and I think that's the time to judge Nottingham Forest. I don't think they're going down. I think Wolves have that sorted. Wolves will definitely be the big club to go down this year.
I think it will be a different sort of problem to Bournemouth. Their manager has them really well organised. I'm not saying that Brentford aren't well organised, but I think he'll have them more quite defensive, and I think they'll be quite tough nut to crack. So we're going to, no double pivot, hopefully, against Nottingham Forest.
Oh, I think that one must have been put to bed now, surely.
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, it's pretty obvious the direction he's got to go with the midfield, isn't it? He's got to invest in the youth.
Yeah.
And it's been shown. And if he goes back on that, then he deserves the sack.
Yeah.
Simple.
I think he must have heard he must have gotten the message. I mean, it's not so much about the youth; it's about the system. It's about having, one defensive, one sort of box to box, and one attacking. That's That's what I was saying last week. We've got to have a system, and then maybe we can swap players in and out according to fitness and number of matches and stuff. So not necessarily just the youth, but that being said, Gray, Bergwall, and Sarr, yes, please. But it's really step one is getting the system. Step one.
Yeah, but he changes it every week.
Yeah,
that's the problem. He's got to stop doing that.
I felt like
he said himself he doesn't know who his starting 11 is. He's not sure who his preferred 11 is. I mean, that's a bit of a concern.
Yeah.
But
by now he should have a good idea.
Stu, that's a bit of a misnomer, because what are you saying? Starting 11 for the Premier League, then starting 11 for the Champions League.
He said he was asked, "Do you know who your starting? Do you know who your preferred 11 is?" He said, "No, not yet. I'm still working that out." He should have an idea in his head. If I asked you who is your starting 11, you'd be able to give me 11 players, right?
No, because I understand what he's doing, because you've got to change rotate at least probably 3 or 4 of them, because you can't run them just like Van der Ven not playing that last game. You can't run them into the ground today. So it just seems to me, as an observer, as a bit of a misnomer. Who's your best 11? Well, best 11 for Saturday, and then who's your best 11 for Tuesday or Wednesday, and then the next best 11 for the next Saturday or Sunday. So,
but if you were going to pick an 11 for a one-off game, if you're going to pick an 11 for a one-off game, who would it be? That's the question. I think that's what you mean by preferred 11. I've certainly got a starting 11 in my head, and Palhinha would not be in it.
Well, the back 5 picks itself. So it's really the rotation of those 6 midfielders, to be honest, And it just seems to be that Muani and Richarlison are doing the business up there. So it's those 6 midfielders, the ones who are actually rotating the most. And also, Udogie being injured all the time, that's sort of stuck.
That does not help. Udogie would be my preferred left back, certainly.
Yeah, I just think it's a stupid answer by Thomas Frank saying I don't know. I think he should have said you don't win a cup or a league or a title. You don't win it with 11 players. You win it with a squad, and you use your squad as best you can. And I remember Nuno getting pelters because he very clearly identified his best 11 and then sort of froze too many people out. So it's a very dangerous game, and I think he should have answered better, just saying, "I'm sorry, that's a stupid question. You don't win with 11 players. You win with 20, whatever it is, 25."
That's what I think I just said. Really,
Yeah, but I said it more eloquently, Ashley.
Well, he's Welsh, so it's not his first language.
True, it's not his first language.
Much like Thomas. Oh, Dad. The other thing that's kind of bugged me.
Happy.
He's not happy with that.
He's not happy at all.
The other thing that's kind of bugged me a little bit about Thomas Frank's press conferences, a number of times he says, "It's a good question. I'm not sure. I'll have to get back to you about that."
I hate that.
Yeah. It's like a business course 101 type thing. Yeah. Okay.
How do I get
say something on the press conferences? Some of the questions are fucking stupid.
Oh, they are. They're awful.
I mean, they're absolutely awful. And they're obvious, and I'll get really cheesed off if I was being asked stupid questions like that.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else anybody wants to talk about the Brentford game before we move on?
Kudus was really good.
Kudus was superb until they brought on Henry at left back. And he had the beating of him.
I was very annoyed his goal was ruled out because it looked good to me, but apparently Odebear was offside in the
Yeah,
build.
Odegaard was offside. I thought so at the time.
Yeah.
Apparently in the
How he
stadium,
squeezed it in from there.
it was really cool.
Great
Yeah.
finish.
No, great finish.
There was a lot of confusion in the stadium because they flashed up that it was Xavi that was offside on the screen in the stadium, and everybody's going, "How was Xavi offside?" But it wasn't. It was definitely Odegaard. I think it was just a brain fart by the.
He just went a second too early, didn't he? That's simple.
Yeah.
He didn't need to.
But
There was
the way that Kudus receives the ball at times, he catches it beautifully. His control is fantastic.
What he does in tight spaces under pressure, sometimes from 2-3 players with close control, and you know, it's really wonderful to watch.
He just seemed happier yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah.
He seemed to be getting back into the swing of it, but seemed to be unhappy for a few weeks, you know. And I think that's probably what went through the whole squad for a few weeks. But hopefully,
it's quite interesting. He was coming in off the line quite a lot. He wasn't sticking out wide. He was coming inside and just finding pockets of space. And Xavi was also kind of doing the same thing. Colin Muani seemed to be given a lot more free rein to move around. Yeah, I thought it was interesting. In a way, it seemed like the shackles had been taken off a little bit by the manager. He let them cook.
Let them cook? Yeah, exactly.
He let them cook.
Yes. Good point.
So I was very happy to see that.
And let's hope it continues.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. To be continued.
I thought the serenading or the chanting of Vicario was rather lovely as well after what happened a week ago. Yeah,
absolutely.
This is the thing. You know, in the last game that was at the Lane, there was a brief period where things started to look better and the fans really got behind it. And I was like, they're just dying to be shown something that they can get behind. They're absolutely gagging for it. And we saw it in this game. And the response from the fans, I thought, was magnificent. I mean, as if we've got great fans, but they can turn, but they've been given such, you know, rubbish football over the last year. I mean, David, you've been there for a lot of the games. Your son sat through most of them.
Yeah.
You know, over the last year at the Tottenham Stadium, it's the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, the fare on offer has been terrible. So you can see why they're a bit grumbly and upset, but they're just dying for something to be given to get behind. And you could feel it in the Brentford game. They loved it. And it was the reaction from the crowd was great to see.
Yeah, there was a very different atmosphere around, and that was because we actually, we gave them something to go on.
Yeah. So no, I thought it's been I'm not 100% convinced about the Newcastle game. I think some of you guys are more positive about it than me. But the Brentford game, I thought was a potential banana skin. That's what I'm looking for. Damn French, it's getting in my head. So we managed to avoid that, and let's push on now. Slavia Prague on Tuesday in front of our good man Sonny, coming back to the club to say goodbye to everybody and watch a final game. That would be great to have him there, and hopefully get a good win in that one. And then we move on to Nottingham Forest, which could be slightly more difficult. But I'm more hopeful than I have been in quite some time. I think more hopeful than I have been since that Everton game, because that Everton game also looked good. And that's also why I'm very cautious right now, because after that Everton game was a horrible, horrible run. But November is gone. November is over. We always seem to do badly in November. Harry Kane, as I remember, scored 1 goal or something in all of his time at the club in November. So maybe it's just a cursed month for us.
Yeah. I mean, Everton game, great. And then we had some games, I think, where Frank maybe went into overthink mode and too worried about the opposition rather than let's get right what we're doing right, you know.
Yeah.
And he's focused too much on the opposition, tried to set us up, destroyed what we already got created, and let's hope that same mistake doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Now, Slavia Prague next. I know nothing about them. Stu, you keep saying they're useless. But what do you know about them?
They're about on the same level as Copenhagen, I believe, in terms of quality. So not a great side, and we absolutely should beat them. If we struggle against that one, then the knives will absolutely be out. But we shouldn't.
Well, let's just hope we pick up from where we left off at the weekend. Yeah, yesterday. You know.
Absolutely.
Is it Tuesday?
Yeah.
Did you say it's Tuesday night?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday night. Okay.
Guys, I have to
That's
go
nice.
because I've got a scheduled call to my dad at 10 o'clock. So,
Right,
nice
well,
to see everyone.
Wish
Look
him the
forward
best,
to
mate, and thank you
recording.
very much for coming.
Okay.
I think we're all
Yeah.
pretty much close to logging off now anyway. So
Okay.
unless
Yeah.
anybody's got any final points, we shall call it a day there.
Later.
Okay.
Take care.
Excellent.
Nice to see everyone.
Yeah, take care,
Bye,
mate.
Austin.
All the best.
So has anyone got any final points they'd like to make before we close the show out?
No, just going back to what Marcel and I also said, you know, this aspect of unshackling the team. Let's hope that he continues. I don't know if it's I know what it was. Mike and Dave might have said this last week or the week before about micromanaging. You know, he's always looking at those tablets there, looking at the plays and whatever. And I'm going like, you know, all of us were brought up on the eye test, you know, not the XGs or the XYZs or whatever. And ultimately, I think the eye test is as valuable as the XG because we can see who's getting in the box, who's getting a chance, who's not. And just wondering if he can sort of lay back from all of that, not micromanage as much, and let them cook or whatever. Let cry the dogs of war, you know, cry havoc and let
slip the dogs of war. Yeah,
cry havoc and let cry the dogs of war. Yeah, be positive. Don't worry about them. Let them worry about us. You know, I think we've got the players to do that. You know, let's see. Let's hope. Yeah, let's hope he takes those shackles off and develops. And he's never played 2 games a week. You got to hand it to him. He's in hopefully a growing process. Let's hope he can grow and we benefit because of it.
A bit more of the Harry Redknapp style, eh? Go and run around a bit.
go run around a bit. Go and kick him. Go run around a bit. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Harry wasn't totally like that. He did have a system, but that was his way, you know. Let's entertain. And we did entertain under Harry for sure.
David, any final thoughts?
No, I think that all encapsulates it very nicely. It's just nice to be able to come on here and be vaguely positive. You know, I know I haven't been totally positive all the time, but I mean, it's such a different feeling after that match. I mean, I was dreading it, you know, but it was great. Really good. I really enjoyed it.
I was not looking forward to this match in any way, shape, or form, I'll be honest. But I am very, very happy to see it. And my final thought, it's so good to see some players out on loan doing extremely well. I don't know if you've seen Luka Vusković's goal from today.
Yeah.
Suits you, sir. That was lovely. So
a header?
A
header or a
no,
shot?
it was off his back foot, behind his back.
Back heel volley, wasn't it?
Back heel volley, beautiful. And then also there's a video floating around of Mikey Moore's 15 minutes against Hibernian, and he looked excellent. I was like,
I was looking for that.
Could be really good.
Have you seen it? The video?
Yeah.
Do you know where it is?
I will send you the link.
Could you? Because I was looking for it, and
me too, please, Stu. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. I'll sort it out. I'll put it in the group.
Stick it in the CADS or something,
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for this evening.
Okay.
We're all feeling good. Let's keep that going. Slavia Prague, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool coming up, and just finish the month off for Crystal Palace. Yeah, easy, right? Yeah, no problem. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. We'll speak again very soon. And until then, come on,
gents.
When you Spurs.
Take the punch with every wild take. We raise up our glass while pundits just chuckle. Ignore them, alas. The CADS. never end.